Right then, we are live again. It's looking like this time OBS is giving me much better indicators. For some weird reason, my bitrate was like really low, like 200 or something, but now it's come to 2,600. So I've set it at 2,500. So yeah, seems to be all working okay. The mic seems to be a little bit overpowered for some reason, so I'm gonna change that a little bit, take that volume down a bit. Yeah, I'm just getting used to this new computer. I don't know why, but I've got the same settings on OBS and it's just didn't seem to work that time. It worked yesterday, I did a test stream, it was fine. So hopefully it should be a bit better now. I have actually, funnily enough, someone said, am I getting a new mic? I've actually ordered a new webcam, a better webcam, so that I can upgrade the quality of that. And I am after a Blue Yeti mic at some point, but obviously I've got to save up for that as well because I've been spending loads recently, and obviously I've spent on this computer, so yeah, I do want that. People are coming in, everyone's saying hi again. Sorry about that first stream there. Oh, we got Lonnie in. Hi Ads, good morning. Thanks for joining, Lonnie. I've not caught up with your videos in a while, so I need to go back and check yours out. You know, there's so many new resellers on in the UK that I've not even looked at. I need to. Yeah, Peter Ray says I use the Logitech C920. That is the one I've ordered. Everyone I've talked to who's doing reselling videos seems to use that one. So yeah, it should be pretty decent, and it shouldn't be a change, you know, from other people's. George says hi again, Ads. So no one's saying that yeah, no one's saying that basically there's no sound or anything, so it seems good. How's the sound level? Is the sound level okay? Right then. Oh, someone just commented on a video. Yeah, I'm really loving the new PC. Absolutely love it. It's really, really fast and everything. It's just you know, I'm getting used to it as well. It's obviously I've only had it a couple of days, so I'll just do a couple of shout outs. Hi Richard, hi Peter, hi SibK, hi Southwest Sellers, hi Donna. I've already said hi to Lonnie. Oh, and I was just saying as well before, there's so many UK resellers popping up. I've not had a chance to even watch any. Like I watch a little bit of Peter. I try and watch a bit of Carlo if I can. I try and watch a little bit of Nick and Z, but with all these reselling chat, it's impossible, isn't it, now, to watch them all. I wouldn't get any work done if I watched them all. I mean, I remember a time a couple of years back where I could sit down and I could watch everyone's videos of UK resellers and a few of the US because there wasn't that many. But now, oh my God, there's loads. Rhoda Allen said, "Oh, that's yeah." I was gonna say that's Pete's wife, isn't it? Hi, Ad. This is Pete from Alan's World. As my laptop is in the workshop, I just saw your video actually before. In for 20 minutes or so, David McGregor. It's funny because David McGregor actually gave me the topic for this video today, which is emotions in reselling. Peter says, "Cheers, Ad. I now oh, he does gaming streams as well. Wow, that's cool. I can't watch it all either. No worries, Ad. No, I will definitely go over and check yours out. I used to binge watch your vids. I used to love them. Back when you were doing the daily vlogs, you did daily vlogs for a time. I was watching every day. I used to love them. So I better go over and check some out. Right. Anyway, I'll stand up now. I'll get my positioning right and stand up. But as I say, oh, that's not quite right, is it? That'll do. That's wait, bit down, maybe there. That's okay, isn't it? The focus is the focus off. No, that's not too bad. Anyway, so as I was saying, oh, what was I saying now? So yeah, anyway, I'm upgrading my webcam. I'm getting a better mic at some point in the future, and when I say some point in the future, I mean the immediate future, within the next month or so. But as someone pointed out, I think it was SibK, there was some buzzing. Now the buzzing is from, well, I don't know whether it's from the mic, this mic down here, or whether, so this mic down here, or whether it's actually from the computer, because there wasn't any buzzing with this mic in my old computer. So I'm a bit annoyed about that actually, because if I get a new mic and I plug it in and it is actually the computer that's doing that buzzing, then getting a new mic won't actually make any difference. So I'm gonna have to try and sort that out if I can. Maybe if I plug it in I've currently got my tower underneath my desk, and maybe if I plug it in the back of the unit rather than the front of the unit on one of the USB slots, I think that might help. It might help, maybe, I don't know. But yeah, that's a bit concerning, so I'll have to sort that out. But anyway, at least we're on, we're sorted. How is the audio actually? Because I've never used these speakers before on this computer, so I'd just like to kind of know. If you don't know how to describe how the audio is, then don't worry, I'll just watch the bit of the video back and see for myself. But yeah, I'd like to know just how what the kind of level is. Anyway, with all that being said, because I'm not just going to ramble about technical stuff and, you know, YouTube streaming in this video, we are going to talk a little bit about reselling today. The reason it's on at 1:30 today is because I was actually round my grandma's having lunch, so they invited me over for lunch. So instead of going round tomorrow, I did have the option of going round tomorrow, but actually my other grandma comes round to see me on a Friday afternoon, so I thought what I'll do is I'll ask if we can have lunch a little bit earlier, and then I can still do Thursday talks. But then I just thought to myself, well, what I'll do is I'll just extend Thursday talks in you know, half an hour later. So I did that, and we just about managed to make it back in time. So yeah, that's why I was a little bit late. But anyway, on with the reselling chat. So if you have any reselling related questions, drop them in the chat. I do have somewhere, yeah, it's here actually. I have a couple of questions from last week's episode that I picked off. I went back through the chat actually, and I went back through the chat and I picked out some questions that I actually missed, because I am quite prone to missing out questions. So someone said, were you nervous to start making videos? I don't know who this was, unfortunately. I think the next question I'm going to read out was Peter Ray's question, but I don't know who said this one. But were you nervous to start making videos? I was, but I had already previously done YouTube before making reselling videos. So I've been doing YouTube, actually this year, I'll have been doing YouTube on and off for 5 years. I started in 2013 when I was 17, and yeah, I really enjoyed YouTube. But it was, for me at the start of it, it was like, oh my god, you can make money with videos. Like, as soon as anything to do with making money, I was all over. You know, when I was younger, I was all over. And I thought, oh my god, you can make money with YouTube, that's awesome. So I just set up a channel. I don't think there was any restriction on becoming a YouTube partner back then. So like, basically I could just become a partner and get an AdSense account straight away, rather than like waiting to 1,000 subscribers or something that it is now. And also, I think we changed it as well a while back, that you can't be a partner for some other reasons as well. I don't know what they were, but yeah, I didn't have any sort of barrier to entry on that, so I went in and I was all over it, trying to make money, and my videos got about 2 views or whatever, but I absolutely loving it. And I did YouTube for about 2 or 3 years with no success, with literally no success. I was doing them, and I was the type of YouTuber who, let's say, would just post it on Facebook for their friends to view, and okay, yeah, you know, that's not necessarily failing, but you know, it's not necessarily succeeding in the best of your ability. Like right now, I feel like I've succeeded at YouTube because I do content that I am very passionate about. I have found my niche, and yeah, I feel like now I'm more grounded in what I'm doing with YouTube. So yeah, I wasn't actually that nervous when I first started, but I was a little bit nervous because it was a new group of people, a new niche that I was getting into. So yeah, number 2, I think this was Peter Ray's question, was, would you sell on any other platforms? Well, obviously, eBay and Amazon are the primary platforms for most people. I sell on both of those. I do also have a little cabinet. I've not checked it in the last few weeks, so don't go saying, oh, how's your cabinet done in the last week, because I don't know. I'm gonna go either sort of this weekend or maybe early next week to, you know, to check it. But yeah, I do sell in cabinet. I have pretty much decided now that I'm just going to upgrade to a booth, you know, a unit or whatever you want to call it, and I'm going to get a unit down there. It is obviously a bit more expensive, but the amount of room you get for that, you know, for that cost is more than worthwhile. So I have decided that I'm going to go down that route. So of course that is another platform, that is another outlet to sell. Also, I've tried Amazon Merch in the past with little success. I don't think I put enough effort in with merch because I don't enjoy it as much as other things. And when you don't enjoy something, you know, when it's hopefully going to become your job or is somewhat a part of your job, it just doesn't work because you don't enjoy it. So I've tried merch. I do want to get into Etsy at some point, but at the moment I just don't want to spread myself too thin. So I've got a lot on my plate at the moment. I'm trying to really you know what I'm trying to do? I'm trying to take people's advice that I got off people months and months and months ago that I didn't take. So about, I don't know, a year ago, I was getting into quite a few different things. And people would tell me, don't spread yourself too thin, you know, concentrate on 1 or 2 or 3 things and do them really well. So that's what I'm trying to go back to. So in a way, I'm kind of drawing myself in a little bit if I can, and stopping myself from going out after all these other different things that are popping up, and basically being able to focus more and apply more time and more and sort of, I hate to use this expression, but like, you know, working smart or whatever. And recently I've been trying to analyse what working smart actually means, and to be honest, I think it's just basically a combination of all the little things making a bigger thing more efficient. So doing a combination of very, very small things, you know, maybe it's tens or hundreds of small little things that make your entire job more efficient. I think that's kind of what working smart is, not necessarily just doing one big thing to change up your efficiency of your business. I mean, that could be called working smart as well, but I actually think it's more like doing a lot of little things. But no, I'm trying to sort of just hold myself back from doing all these new projects and try and focus on the main few. So really in the future I'm going to be more focused on just eBay, Amazon, and then obviously I get this unit as well. And if I can get to the point where my eBay and my unit, or my booth, or whatever you want to call them, are doing enough turnover, enough profit to be able to cut Amazon FBA out, then I will do that, because I've spoke about this, whether people like me for it or hate me for it, but I've spoke about this a lot over the past, I don't know, maybe even close to a year now. I've said it, Amazon are going to start restricting things off. It's not going to look pretty in the next few years. I don't think personally, unless you're really like stubborn, that you, or maybe not stubborn's the right word, but a more positive version of stubborn, but unless you're really passionate that you are going to make Amazon work for you and you are going to stay on that platform through the restrictions, I'm not that passionate about Amazon to do that. So unless you're that type of person, I think that Amazon is going to cut you off and you're not going to do much about it to get it back. So it's worth building up side projects now that will then become a better sort of like a part-time income, but joint with your main thing will actually form an income. So yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. And if I can cut Amazon out, then that's actually a good thing if I can cut Amazon out, because then I can focus solely on my eBay and my unit. So I'm only focusing on 2 things, and I can put a lot more time and a lot more effort into the things I'm doing. And also it helps me with my knowledge on antiques and collectibles, because ultimately I've got to have my main dream in sight, and that is obviously having some sort of shop or an emporium or something like that with antiques and collectibles. So I think that it might naturally evolve in that sort of way if I put the effort and make that in and make sure that I evolve in that way. But no, I'm quite happy to sell on any other platforms really, as long as I like selling on them and I can make money on them. And then OB2 Jason asked in a comment, do you bother cleaning / polishing metalware? So I don't, this kind of how I see it is there's like 2 types of people. There's those people, whether they're collectors or sellers of metalware, who like their metalware to be nice and shiny and golden and all that sort of stuff. And then there's another type of person who likes what's known as the patina. So, the wear on the item, the sort of slightly dulling or fading to the item, the wear that comes with age from that piece of metalware. I am actually the latter, and also I'm not I don't particularly like the effort of cleaning metalware. I don't particularly want to put in the effort of cleaning metalware, and also as I say, if something's old and has got that patina over time, then I feel like I don't really want to take that patina off the item. I want to leave it as it is. I want to leave it in that sort of, I think American pickers would call it farm fresh condition or whatever, or barn fresh condition or whatever you call it. But you know, you leave it in that condition, and that's the type of seller, and that is the type of collector I would be. You know, if I collected that stuff, I wouldn't necessarily look for things that are really highly polished. I would be looking at certain points of the item. Let's say it's a big metal charger or something, or an advertising sign, you know, an enamel advertising sign. I'd be looking for points of patina and wear on the item. But it's very hard to describe if you're not like into that stuff, but it kind of gets you going. It makes you, it gives you a bit of a thrill when you see an item with like the perfect level of patina on. But as I say, if you're not into that kind of stuff, you'll be thinking, what are you talking about? That doesn't make any sense. But it will make sense to those who actually like that stuff. So anyway, so there are 3 questions, and then the topic today is emotion in, well, I wrote down business, but then I thought I'll just call it reselling. So, you know, make it a bit more specific to reselling. So emotion in reselling. So Ken's in the chat. Sorry, I have neglected the chat. I'll just go up the chat. Whoa, sorry, I'm clicking the wrong. Oh, I love this. You know what? You know why I used to say the chat kept like going weird on me? Well, with this new computer, the chat does not go weird on me. It's so good. Garage Flip says, ads, do you believe in extraterrestrial life, or do you think they resell like we do, or reselling like we do? I don't know about extraterrestrial life. I'll touch on this very briefly. I don't know. I kind of think that we'd be the ones, you know, we're the extraterrestrial life. Well, no, actually, because saying that, if we're the extraterrestrial life, then there's got to be another form of life somewhere in the universe to be able to call us extraterrestrial life. So therefore, I must believe in extraterrestrial life, but it's not particularly extraterrestrial life from their standpoint. So I don't know. What I'm trying to say is I don't necessarily think, maybe somewhere in the universe there is you know, a planet that has, you know, sort of produced life up to an intellectual standard of we are, or maybe even greater. But I kind of think that maybe somewhere in the universe there is life, but it might be a little bit more basic than we are. I don't know. I mean, I do believe that there is life out there somewhere. I passionately believe that, because it's just probability of the amount of worlds out there and the amount that's being discovered, the amount of you know, planets that are in what's known as the Goldilocks zone, which is a zone, it's named after obviously Goldilocks being not too hot or not too cold, so it's a zone in which life is able to be supported. So obviously, you know, there's all these different planets, all these different stars, all these different types of stars, and you know, types of weathers and climates on different planets. And I just think that there is life out there somewhere. I just don't know whether it would be as intelligent as we are. In terms of if they resell or not, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, they could do. They could have there could be a world out there, not necessarily in a multiverse or a parallel universe or anything, but just in this universe, that life has evolved in pretty much exact same way as us. And there is a theory out there. I don't know who the theory's by, but there is a theory out there that you know, that says that there is another planet out there somewhere that is evolved, that life has evolved almost perfectly the same as us, and they're doing pretty much the same things, you know, computers and cars and all this different stuff. So it's very, very interesting when you look into extraterrestrial life and, you know, space exploration. It's very, very, I'm really, really interested in it. I love it. And obviously it stems from loving sci-fi shows and things like that, and then reading into the more non-fiction side of science, you know, not necessarily science fiction, but, you know, the non-fiction side, the things that are actually facts, you know, science facts. So right then, I'll just quickly go up, see if there's any more questions. I've probably missed some, so I apologise. Oh, Cincinnati Pickers in. Hi there, John. I watched your videos ages ago. I didn't even know you knew I had a channel over here, so welcome anyway. George Ross says, question, how was Q1 for you ads, and how are you going to try and hit Q2? Any changes? Well, I have to say, also, could you put in the chat a few questions on emotion in reselling, or else I'm going to completely forget the topic. Well, I have to say, David said to me that only resellers call Q4 Q4, and actually, like retailers and larger businesses, Q4 to us is actually their Q3. So I don't know, that was really weird, but anyway, I'll just do it in terms of a reseller. Q1 for me, it was a little bit more choppy this year than last year, I have to say. I don't know whether that's due to any eBay conspiracies around this kind of promoted listings thing, you know, eBay boosting your promoted you do this promoted listings thing and you get a boost, and if you don't do it, you get sort of throttled or whatever it is. I don't know what people are talking about, but I've seen a lot of that in different groups recently. I don't know whether that's kind of has anything to do with it. I am actually on promoted listings, I am trying it out, and I have seen a dramatic increase in sales. So is that proof, you know, that maybe eBay are throttling the sales or something, and you have to get these promoted listings and give eBay essentially another fee in order to basically get your items to sell? Is that something? If so, I was saying to my mum this actually, if so, I do not like that. I don't like that on a moral level. I think that is wrong on personally to me, I think that is wrong. I know that eBay's a business and they're gonna have to get money, you know, in whatever way they can, and they're gonna I can't even say my words today. They're gonna try and jump through as many loopholes or whatever, or you know, as many moral they're gonna do things basically that maybe are not that great, you know, or not that nice or good. So I know they're gonna do that to make money, but I just don't like it. I think it's a bit underhand, let's say. I don't think, obviously if it was illegal or anything, they wouldn't be doing it. I don't think it's illegal or anything, but or there's any dodgy grey area of the law to do with that sort of stuff, because they are actually being frank with us. You know, they're saying, if you do this, we are taking a fee, so, and it's our choice to do that. So yeah, but it just seems a bit, you know, I mean, the kind of a throttling of the listing side of it, if that is true. I mean, I can't prove that. It's just, this is just like a conspiracy going around, but if that is true, that's not that side of it, not necessarily the promoted listing side, but the throttling side is definitely, I do not like. I think that's a little bit immoral, to be honest. But yeah, I mean, they're gonna do what they're gonna do. In terms of my Q1 anyway, yeah, as I say, it was a bit rocky. Q2, no, we're not even in Q2 yet, are we? I'm saying Q2, but we're not even in Q2 yet. No, Q1, bit rocky. It's actually come through the last few days. I managed to do 450, I think it was, on Sunday, which is incredible. That hasn't, by no means is that a regular thing, because the last few weeks, the weekends have been dire. I've been lucky to touch £200 a day on, you know, a Saturday and a Sunday, and normally I'd like to do 400 or 500 between the 2 days on a Saturday and on a Sunday. This weekend was the first weekend in a long time I've actually done over that, and I've actually done what I would refer to as a really nice, you know, bit of money, bit of sales, chunk of sales over a weekend. But yeah, apart from this weekend, it's been very, very poor. However, saying that, I didn't put promoted listings on until I think it was Sunday at some point, and then I checked on the Sunday night and promoted listings had given me no new sales. So that Sunday and that Saturday was all, you know, from not promoted listings or anything. So that should give you a little bit of encouragement. However, there was quite a few auctions. I did sell about 27 items, and about 8 to 10 of those, maybe, or a little bit more, was auctions. So, and actually a few of the auctions were quite higher value as well, so it wasn't the majority of the sales that were auctioned, but it was majority of the turnover that was auctioned. So, and obviously ultimately most probably profit. So yeah, I don't know about this thingy with this throttling, promoted listings and stuff, but anyway, I had a decent weekend this weekend. It wasn't to do with promoted listings, but since that weekend, since Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday time, I've had a really good week of it, and I think it is to do with promoted listings. So yeah, that has to be said. Something maybe there, but anyway, I'll quickly see. What kind of coffee do you drink? I need your energy. I don't drink coffee, I don't drink tea, I drink peppermint tea. I have a little bit of milk at night time. Probably not the best, lying on your stomach having milk at night. But, I mean, I have snacks at 9, 10 o'clock at night, and you really shouldn't do that for your digestive system. You don't want to be sleeping on, while your stomach's digesting. But I'm just a rebel like that, I don't know. But, no, I just have a lot of energy naturally, I think. I'm just quite energetic. I always get 8 hours sleep, 8, 9 hours sleep. I try for that. Although saying that, last night I had 7 hours. I got up at 6:30 this morning. Don't get me wrong, I'm not one of these people who will get up at 6:30 and say, oh, you've got to use every minute of every day and you've got to work all the time and all that. I'm not kind of one of those people. I just got up at 6:30 randomly and I thought, oh, I'll get up and do some work. But normally I would get up at about 8, so I'm not necessarily really high powered or really go-getting or whatever, but I do the work that I do in the day. I always get enough done, or most of the time I get enough done, should I say. And yeah, I'm quite energetic. It's just, I think a lot of it's to do with diet, really. I think diet is a big thing. I think exercise is a big thing. Obviously I've done 10,000 steps a day now for a very long time, and I think that helps. So I would encourage people to do that, if you can fit it in. I think that when I get kids, I'm going to struggle with doing the 10,000 steps a day, and I might not be able to hit it, but that's not to say that I won't try my hardest to try and hit it, try and get there. But I think if you can do the 10,000 steps a day, that does help. It helps massively with my sleep, actually. If you're struggling with like insomnia, anything like that, I had really bad, I couldn't go to sleep. There is a cure, there is a, what's it called? There is a name for it, like a scientific name. Oh no, what's this here now? Oh, what's that? Something said, are we still live? Something just popped up to me saying we're not receiving encoding data. But anyway, so I think we're still live, but something just went weird then. But no, basically I used to struggle with, basically there's a term for it, but when you go to sleep, you don't want to go to sleep because you think you're gonna die. And I don't mean to say that like, oh well, I just think I'm gonna die when I go to sleep. I mean, your mind tricks you. It makes you think you literally are gonna die. You're not gonna wake up the next day. It is like a mental disorder or whatever, or a stigma or whatever you want to call it. I don't know what the politically correct term is, but sort of, it is something that can seriously affect you. But when I started doing these 10,000 steps a day, because it was actually after I got rid of that mainly, but when I started doing these 10,000 steps a day, I've never really woken up, in the night. I always sleep right through. I always feel like I've had a good night's sleep, and I really do believe it's because diet and the exercise, and it does. I am one of these people who feels that, like mental power, mental strength, exercise and diet are the three things that can really, keep you going and can do a lot more than you think. And I think also love and friendship have a lot to do with it. Even though you might not think it would have a lot to do with it, I think it does. I think being social, having people around you that love you and that you love them, and seeing them often, I think that really does say a lot for who you are, and it helps you, mentally and physically. So I don't know. Anyway, I've just rambled on that, so I'll leave that now. I'm hoping that we are still on. Oh god, what's happened here? My mouse has gone funny. Oh, there we go. Right then. So I'll go down the chat because I can't keep going up the chat. I'll probably be missed out. Wow, ads, that is scary. The weird dream of ads. Well, I mean, don't get me wrong. It was really scary. I used to basically be sat in bed and I wouldn't go to sleep. I would keep myself awake because I'm thinking, I'm going to die tonight. I'm going to die tonight. You just kept, you keep thinking that. And it was a very negative mindset. and obviously I've got myself out of all that now. You know, I go to sleep, and the funny thing is, there's such a change. You know, there's such a change. Like when you have something like that, and you really fear going to sleep. Now I actually really enjoy, and I'm really happy to go to sleep, and when I wake up I feel regenerated, I feel rejuvenated, and I really want to attack the day. And it's like such a switch has been flipped now, and I'm so grateful for sleep, and I really do love sleep. So you know, and that has taken a long time. That took months to slowly get rid of, as well as, you know, things like food disorders and stuff like that. I battled with that, and I still have, you know, disorders relating to food, or what I would consider disorders. I've never got diagnosed, but what I would consider some sort of disorder I have kind of got. And it's a constant battle with these things, but you've got to push through it, and you've got to realise that actually at the end of the day everything is fine, you know, and that is the hardest thing to accept, that everything is going to be fine. Everything is fine, you know. There's nothing to be afraid of. In the actual fact, things like sleep and food and stuff like this are your biggest, you know, what's the word? Biggest, not adversary. What's the other term? Your biggest friend, let's say. I'm trying to think of another word that begins with A, but no, they're your biggest friend, and they help you in such amazing ways. So I think it's about flipping that switch in your mind. But we'll talk about reselling in business now. Oh God! Now we're all just, look at this. Now we're all just talking about death. So I'm not going to read into that chat, because that is blooming dark. That is. I'm not reading about that. So anyway, I'll quickly scroll up the chat. Never heard you talk about that, ads. Thanks for sharing, man. Glad you are better. I have talked about it in a few videos. I did episode 44 of Thursday Talks. I opened up about most of my health issues. I mean, I've had cerebral palsy, as you know, since birth, and I've had, I don't know, 7 operations on that. I had an Elizabeth frame on to correct it, which is a big metal frame on your foot which pins go through the bone, and then every day you tighten the screws on it, and it brings your foot closer to that right angle that you want it to be. Because actually I was walking on my foot at like, what's that going to be, like 45 degrees or something, that angle? I don't know. No, because that'd be 45 degrees, wouldn't it? So that'd be like 120 or something. But I was walking on my foot like that. So I had to have this Elizabeth frame put on to slowly, over 2 months I had it on, and it slowly brought my foot up like that to a right angle, and now I walk on my foot as a normal person would. But now I've had plenty of operations to do with that. I've had mental health issues, I've had loads of stuff, but I don't know why, but I constantly think every day I wouldn't have changed any of that for the world, because it makes you so strong, you know. The level of strength that I have now compared to when I was younger is incredible, you know. I wouldn't wish any of this stuff on anyone, honestly I would not, but at the same time I wouldn't have wanted not to have that, because it made me the person I am today, and it made me so strong. So yeah, I have been through a fair bit, but it's nice to talk about it. Oh, Garage Flip says, I didn't know you had CP. Yeah, it's been, I've had that since birth. I don't know what, I think it was to do with a bleed on the brain, my mum said to me, that I had when I was born. I had a bleed on the brain, I think it was around here somewhere, and I think that then affected the movement of some sort of motor neurons or so. I don't know what it is, I'm not a scientist, but it affected something in my left hand and my left foot anyway. So yeah, but I've really, I like having a disability. I think it is, in one way, you know, a lot of people talk about it and they say it is a part of them, and I think that it is a part of me, just as anyone else says their disability is a part of them. Yeah, anyway, I'm not going to ramble more about that. Let's get on with some reselling, because I know I've rambled for half an hour on just random stuff as always. So let's get on with some questions. Ads, treat every day like your last, because one day you'll be right. Yeah, fair enough. Right then, well, let's see if there's any Is it me or is Ad's camera blurred? Sorry, I'll sort. Yeah, it is blurred a bit. One sec. Is that a bit better? Looks a little bit better to me. Don't worry, next week I'm getting a new camera, so it'll be much better. Right. Oh, we're all talking about VAT. Somewhat. Oh, I think Ken maybe said he's going over the VAT threshold or something. I don't know. I don't. Oh, no question. Do you think eBay will launch their own FBA style service? I don't think they should. I can tell you that. I don't think they should. Whether they do or not is another matter. We've got these new services. Well, I don't know whether they're that new, but we've got these services coming in that Nick had one of the guys on his chat, didn't he? I did watch a little bit. I didn't watch all of it, but was it habour? habour, is that right? They're eBay fulfillment services. So what they do is they basically are the Amazon FBA of eBay, and you send, as far as I'm aware, you send your items up there. You maybe label it or label an entire box of units, send them up there, they store them, you transfer the listings over to them somehow on their site. You'd have to watch Nick's video on this, but you transfer your listings over to them on their site, and then they make your listings live when they've received them or something, and then they store them and then ship them out. Obviously there'll be fees involved. Whether eBay do this themselves is another question, and I'll tell you why I don't think we should. It's because just think about it this way. If you've got Amazon and they've got a service, they've got one-day delivery, they've got sellers sending up their items to them, and that's kind of their business model. That's their business model. And they're extremely good at doing it. And you've got eBay here. Now, eBay started as a bargain website. You go on there, you go on there, you maybe grab a bargain on auction, because there wasn't any buy it nows 20 years ago or whatever, or 15 to 20 years ago. And you'd go on there, and maybe it's only collectors on there, trying to get some bargains on there, opposed to other collectors. Oh, just flashing at me again. Hope we're still on. It's really weird, it keeps flashing at me, YouTube, saying we're not receiving any data from your encoding software. Oh, and now it's saying bad. Now it's saying the stream's bad. Oh no, what's happened here? Now on OBS everything's coming through fine. On OBS it's saying I'm fine, so I'm just gonna roll with it. If anything's bad, just tell me in the chat. But no, then you've got eBay. That's this other business model. It's about the sort of the one-off items. Let's say it's about collectors, maybe getting a bargain or maybe bidding up with other people. It's mainly auctions, that sort of stuff. And then we drifted away from that with Buy It Now a little bit, but at the same time we've still got a lot of one-off items on there. And what I'm trying to say is that eBay has defined their business model very clearly, and it has worked for them for quite a long time, just as Amazon has defined them. Now, you and eBay start replicating what Amazon is doing. They're just going to be a poor man's Amazon. They're not going to be able to compete with Amazon, and if anyone thinks they will be able to, I just don't think I really just don't. I think they're wrong. I just don't think they will be able to. Not on the level that Amazon are at. Amazon is always going to be the best person in that field, because they're the best business in that field, because they've set themselves up. They've defined their business model. They know what they're going to be. However, eBay can be the best, and maybe already the best, at what they do. I feel eBay should look more towards the one-off items, the things that they started with, maybe vintage collectible items, antiques, things like that. Things that maybe particularly Amazon don't deal with as much. Maybe like older books, really antique books. I know that Amazon do some antique books, or have antique books listed for sale. In terms of actual sellers have got them listed for sale on there. However, I think that eBay should define their business model and stick with it, just as Amazon has done with theirs, rather than trying to copy what Amazon have done, because they're not I just don't think they're gonna get to the same level. They're not gonna be able to compete the same. Why compete when you don't need to, when eBay's got a good sort of USP going as it is? I think they do need to still be promoting their auction style listings, because that's what they started with. That was their base, that was their model, you know, when they started. So I think eBay needs to stick with that a little bit more. As well, Buy It Now is a great option. I do think they, as they are doing, maybe do need to up their delivery a little bit. Not necessarily to compete with Amazon's one-day delivery, but just because people generally want things faster. So people, you know, there's Amazon buyers and there's eBay buyers. But let's say the people who like eBay, let's say all the sellers start putting 5-day handling on, or, you know, because they don't bother anymore. They don't need to put 1-day handling on for some sort of reason. And if they did that, or if they even, or you know, if their postage time started getting a little bit slower with Royal Mail or whatever, if they did that, then those eBay buyers might not necessarily be eBay buyers for much longer. They may transition over to Amazon because they can get it quicker. So I think eBay needs to somehow hone into their sellers. Look, we want you to be able to dispatch these things faster, and we want you to use X, Y, and Z services if you can, or where you can, because if you do that, the customer is most likely to get the item quicker. So, for example, maybe we want you to start using UPS because you know, customers can get it quicker. I think as eBay, you know, as someone who's running eBay, that's what I would like. I'd make sure that my sellers, you know, were made aware. Look, we want our customers to get these items as quick as we can. So, you know, I'd promote these services that are going to get the items there as quick as they can. So not necessarily we can compete with Amazon, but that the customers can stay with eBay and stay being eBay customers rather than move over to Amazon. I suppose in a way it is competing somewhat, but also it's just a general gist of the way things are going online. Every website is trying to get things out either same day, next day, and get them to the customer as quickly as possible. So, you know, it's not necessarily competing, it's just moving with the times, and I think eBay have to do that as well as focus on those one-off items. I can't see eBay going down that route of, you know, doing all this, you know, all brand new and sealed stuff, and, you know, shipping it into a warehouse and all that sort of stuff. Amazon do that perfectly well. Amazon have got that hands down really, really good. eBay, I think, are more of, you know, they started with that sort of second-hand junk shop feel, you know, on auction, getting a little bit of a bargain, appealing to those collectors. I think that's what they need to continue doing. That's just me personally, but I'm not against the Buy It Now on eBay, because the Buy It Now, I think, was actually an ingenious thing that eBay did, because they saw that people were getting a little bit impatient. And obviously they knew that to keep the customers, they're going to have to add a Buy It Now option, so that then people can buy it whenever they want and get it immediately, or, you know, get it sent out within a day or so and then get it, rather than waiting for that auction to finish. I'm very impatient. I don't like bidding on auctions on eBay unless I'm sniping. If it's something that I really want very quickly, I just go to Buy It Now. However, I don't go to Amazon necessarily, because some things I like buying off eBay. I just like buying off eBay. For example, I like buying sweets and chocolate off eBay. I wouldn't buy sweets or chocolate off Amazon. However, I don't like buying electronics or tech off eBay. I like buying tech off Amazon. So the webcam I ordered off Amazon. I actually got some, I'll show you them, one sec. I got some, well, oh no, these were, I didn't actually order these off eBay, but I didn't actually order these off eBay. I was just gonna say I ordered these off eBay, but anyway, something like this, which is Peeps, I actually ordered this off a different site, but something like this, I don't think you can get these on eBay UK, but something like that I would order on eBay, because I like ordering my sweets and chocolate on eBay. Now, you might be thinking, why not just go down to the supermarket and order your sweets? The only reason, get your sweets there, I do that as well, but I like ordering my sweets online. I think it's so cool. I just think I'm ordering my sweets and then they come to me. How cool is that? I think yeah, there should be more people like selling sweets and chocolate on eBay, because it's I definitely, I'd be all over. I'd love to. I'd be a big buyer in that arena. Anyway, I'll look at the chat. We're getting on now. I think we've been going quite a while. Oh no, we've been going 45 minutes. Right, let me go down. Right, okay. I think eBay really needs to clean up their user interface. When you are on computer, there are like 50 different checkboxes and options down the left hand side. Yes! Very good idea, Lonnie. Yeah, it is a bit, I know exactly what you mean. You know, when I'm checking completed and sold, I like go down, you know, I'll go down that little the page, and then on the left hand side there's loads of stuff, and if I want to refine it, I usually do, what I do is, what do I do now? I do UK only, and then I do, this is if I'm like maybe sniping some new item. I'll do, you know, brand new and sealed item. I'll select by, I'll refine by new, then I'll refine by UK only, because sometimes on certain snipe searches that I run, basically there'll be like a load of international results, but I don't want to buy off them because it's going to take a while to come, and it's not really, you know, if I'm sniping something, I just don't want to deal with that. So I refine by UK only, I refine by new, and then I refine by, what do I do? Newly listed, or sometimes I'll do, you know, ending soonest, depending on if I'm buying it now or auction. So by the time I've done all that, you know, it can be quite a while while you're flipping around. Now, it will be a much quicker on my new computer compared to my old one, because it used to take forever on my old one because it wouldn't load very quickly. But, you know, when you're clicking about 5 or 6 different things. But, yeah, I agree with that one, actually. Right then, supermarket online shopping exists ads. Oh yeah, it does, doesn't it? I forgot about that. No, I still think there's more appeal on eBay. I want eBay to, that's what I want. I want eBay to do a supermarket shop. The thing is, right, I've tried doing an online shop on Sainsbury's or Tesco or whatever it is. It seems very clunky to me. I don't know whether I'm doing it wrong or something. I just, when I was adding things to my basket and stuff, it just seemed very in your face, a bit too much, you know, loads of different options and stuff. And if you do it on eBay, you can just type in the thing. I mean, I suppose on these websites you can type in the thing you want, but there seems to be all these different choices, and you've got to select one, and then it goes up to your basket. But but when I was on the website, I don't know why, it was a long time ago, but I was on the website and it seemed very, I didn't like the interface, you know, I didn't like the user interface, let's just say that. I like the user interface for eBay in the most part, you know, there's things that can be improved. I like the seller hub, I really like the seller hub, I have to say. I actually didn't get the seller hub for quite a while because I don't like things changing. I don't know why, I have this thing where if something changes, it takes me like a month to be able to actually get the new updated thing. I just don't know why. I have this weird like block that won't let me get it because I'm thinking, no, I don't want to change, I want to stay in my little comfort zone. But yeah, I end up having to get the new thing anyway. So when I got the new eBay hub, I really liked it. So what I mean by it, you know, if you could do like your supermarket shopping on eBay, you could like type in broccoli or whatever, right, first one, you know, or best match or whatever, great. Boom. I think it's just the fact that I like the eBay interface better than these supermarket ones. I knew someone was going to ask that. How's the local cabinet going? I did say before I've not been to check it, and I did say don't ask me how it's going because I've not been to check it. But I'll go to check it this weekend, or you know, early next week, Monday, Tuesday time. I have been amassing some cabinet items. I need to price them up and stuff. But yeah, I need to do that. So yeah, I've got to price them up and then I'll go down. Anyway, I think we'll almost leave it there. I might have another couple of questions. I know I've probably listed stream, not your internet. Hi, it's AdSense stream. One sec. Is it bad? One sec. You see, on OBS it seems to be running alright, but then on YouTube it's gone like really poor. I don't know why that is. I don't know. I think it might be my internet. I don't think it's my actual. It It's AdSend. Awful idea, as you would end up paying postage on each item. Yeah, but if you had... anyway, I'll stand up again now. Is the stream unbearable? Or is it bearable? Because if it's bearable, I'll see this out till the end. And then I'll sort something out for next week. But I don't know why it is. I don't know what's happened. Because, I mean, I've changed my computer. But I've not changed... You know, I've not necessarily changed loads of things on OBS or anything. So, you have been freezing for the last 15 minutes. Oh, great. CPU, no, it can't be CPU usage because I'm only at 46% CPU usage. Just as I was making sense of anything, it would freeze. Oh, great. Bearable, Gemma says. Right, okay. I'm very sorry about the stream quality. I don't know what it is. I'm going to have to check on my OBS. I'm going to have to check on YouTube. We'll have to just see. Yeah, I don't know. Just don't get your eggs delivered by Hermes. Yeah, I definitely won't. So, that's a bit of an annoyance, really, because I set this up yesterday. It seemed to be streaming fine yesterday. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I don't know. I'm just really annoyed because I don't know. I don't know. CPU usage is fine at 42%. That's fine because my other PC was like... my frames per second is 24. Now I set that lower because basically I was on 30 when I did the stream before and it was really bad stream. So I don't know. I don't know. I'm trying to think what I could do, what I could change. Number of frames drops 2050. That's not good, is it? I bet it's something to do with that. Anyway, I think what we'll do is I'll have another question and then I'll leave it there. Oh, here we go. When he finally starts going on about the main topic, it freezes. He's better off waffling. Oh, great. So it was okay before then. It was okay before. So maybe I just need to increase my bitrate. Maybe if at one sec. Let me just try this. One sec. Right. Is that getting better? Do you think that'll be better? 41% CPU. I think my frames per second. I'm betting frames per second. Probably my frames per second is a little bit too low. That's probably what it is. Are we getting any better at all now? I've increased my bitrate a little bit. Oh no, something's popped up on YouTube saying we are not receiving any data from your encoder. Make sure it's configured correctly in the ingestion settings. So I don't think so. Maybe not. Gotta go. Dying. No, froze again. Oh, great. No, now it's gone worse. Now it's gone worse. Maybe if I drop it to 2000. Everybody is loving like a tendency. Right, I've dropped it to 2000 now. Is that any better? I think it's my frames per second, and the problem is I can't change my frames per second on while the stream's running. I have to actually end the stream to change my frames per second. So I don't know. Oh, it's so annoying. I think it probably is my frames per second. I'm gonna have to look on the YouTube guide to see what's what. I might, you know what I might do? I might do a stream tomorrow if I can get it working, or you know, maybe a stream tomorrow to try and figure it out. But I might do a private stream tomorrow, and then if I get it working, I might do some sort of other little stream, you know, with it actually working. But yeah, it's a bit annoying that. Anyway, has it improved any yet? Now I've changed it to 2000. Have you cleared the cache and turned it off and on again? I don't think I've got much cache if I've got a if it's a new computer. I haven't tried turning it off and on, but I don't think it's that. It'll just be, I don't know. I'm gonna have to check. I'll message, you know, I'll message someone who does OBS, and then they might be able to help me out a bit. But yeah, it's a bit annoying that. So I apologise anyway for the pretty dismal stream or poor stream. I'll sort it out, and hopefully next week we'll be up and running. It's, you know, the weird thing is it's saying I'm fine on OBS, but then on YouTube it's not saying I'm fine. So I don't know what's going on with it. Might be an easy fix or what. Oh, it's good right now, ads. Looks fine. No, that is standard. Yeah, that's good. You got business account with Hermes, and I don't have a business account with Hermes. I need to sell more and then hopefully get a business account with Hermes. What is the kind of minimum? Would that be the right word? What's kind of it? Is there a minimum like amount of parcels you have to do? Do you know what the prices are like? I mean, I've never even looked into it. Yeah. So anyway, people have said the stream looks okay now. So I don't know, maybe lowering that bit rate a little bit down to 2000 has helped. So it might be alright. What I'm gonna do is I'll actually do like a stream tomorrow, a private stream, and I'll try and increase that frames per second up to 30, and from 24, 25 that it's at now, and then maybe that'll help a little bit more. But I don't know, but because my CPU usage isn't like mega high, so I should be able to cope with 30 frames per second, no problem. So yeah, ads, it's okay now. Well, I don't know, maybe I should leave it how it is. Maybe I should just leave the settings as they are, so that then I'm not getting into any problems. I might just leave the settings as they are then. Yeah, right. So anyway, guys, I'll leave it there. Thank you for bearing with the stream. It should be okay next week, and I'll have my new webcam next week. It could have been an issue on YouTube's end. It could have been the OBS did look fine to me. It was running as it should. There was a little green light there going. My bitrate was good, frames per second were all holding steady. My CPU usage wasn't actually really mega high. It wasn't like 70 or 80%. So yeah, I just don't know. It's a bit weird. I mean, the only other thing is my internet connection. I don't know whether that's anything, but you know, the last few months, my internet connection has been fine on the stream, or as far as I'm aware. So yeah, I don't know. Anyway, I'll leave it there, guys. Thank you all for joining me. It was a pleasure to have a few new faces in the chat as well. Or, well, a few old faces, but who've come back. Lonnie in particular, and John Cincinnati Pickle as well. I didn't even know he knew I had a channel, so that's really cool. And yeah, I think we've had a few new faces in as well, completely new faces. But I'm sorry if I didn't get to your question. You know what it's like, it's mad. I've been having problems today with the stream, so I apologise. What I'll do is go back through the chat and make note of a few questions for next week. Anyway, I will love you and leave you. I will see you in the next one. And yeah, take care of yourselves, everyone, and I will see you very soon. Right, where are we now?